So with our female-based listeners, in terms of cycle training, do you find it to be overhyped, or do you think it's right in the way that it is?
No, I think so. I feel like your cycle is so... Like your hormones, all of that stuff is definitely linked to your energy and how you feel and stuff. So if you are in tune and know what part of your cycle you're at, it does make it a lot easier to understand your body, because that way you're working with your body, not against it.
Right.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So like people, like if you understand, okay, cool, the luteal phase, which is the week before you actually are on your period, you can tend to feel a bit more fatigued and be a bit more tired. And so when you're in that space, understanding that and knowing that, then it's like, okay, cool, this week I'm gonna have a bit more of a relaxed approach to fitness. I'm gonna do things more that I enjoy, as opposed to like really pushing me and stretching me out there. I might go for longer walks. I might do more yoga, Pilates, as opposed to maybe like a HIIT session or like an intense weightlifting session, or going for a run and stuff like that. That way you kind of like make it work all together, as opposed to kind of like working against it.
So you do that for the week leading up and the week during the period, and
the thing is, some people are different, because some people will be like, oh, I have a lot more energy, like when I'm on my period I'm a lot stronger. I'm not that way inclined, but for some people they do say that they are. Do you get what I mean? So the key thing really is listening to your body.
Right. We'll never know.
Yeah. You won't.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because like as two geezers sitting here, you know, talking about that stuff, like we never know. I mean, my wife's pregnant, so she does yoga to help with her pelvis and stretching everything out. Yeah. And, you know, she's very active in that respect. So it's fascinating for me to talk about like sort of the cycle aspect of things. And I hope it doesn't come across weird to geezers talking about it, but it's like, you just don't know what women go through.
I think it's good that you're asking those questions, because it's also good for awareness.
Yeah, exactly.
If you get what I mean. Because there's a lot of male trainers have female clients. Yeah. So if majority of your clients are women and you don't know anything about this, then to me, you're doing your clients a disservice.
Yeah.
Because the knowledge that you can get from this will allow you to adapt their training and not just make it seem as if, oh, you're making excuses. Because I feel like sometimes men do brush it off. Like if you say I'm on my period, oh, whatever. Yeah. Like there's this ignorance of, but you've been in your period how many times in your life already? Like it's not like it's nothing new. And we know that. Like we are very aware that every single month we're gonna end. The running joke is like it comes as a surprise. Yeah. But you know it's coming. But when it comes, it's always like, why is it so painful? But it's always painful. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, if you have that knowledge, you'll just better serve the people that you're looking after if you understand kind of what they're going through.
Massively. Yeah, I can't believe what the female body goes through, really, in terms of like, it's just to educate yourself.
Yeah, it's
whilst
crazy.
Pregnant, and you think like, what is going on? Like, it just makes you appreciate it more, you know.
But do you know what's really interesting? We're not taught this though as women either though. So I was never taught how to train on my cycle. It wasn't part of my PT course. It wasn't part of the curriculum. You weren't taught it. Like, no one really talks about this stuff. It's only now because social media probably, and because people are a lot more vocal about their experiences and stuff, that like you go to do your research.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean. But prior to that, I don't think, and I've been in this industry for what, 12 years? Yeah, I don't think I've ever like had to really kind of qualify in that. But it's just research that I've done over the years to understand my body better. But I'm like, oh, okay. But it should be common knowledge, if you get what I mean. Yeah.
I'm going to switch it up now. BBLs.
Oh.
BBLs. Wow. The question is, has it changed your clients' goals?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's calmed down now though, you know. But there was a period. Gosh. There was a period where like all anybody cared about was having a small waist and a big bum. I didn't hear anything other than that, like from a client. Do you know what I love now? How women are embracing being strong. There's like a strong movement now with women. So like a lot more women are doing upper body. A lot more women want to know how to do pull-ups. A lot more women want to be able to do muscle-ups. And that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
Like literally. Whereas now I'm like, oh my gosh, thank God.
Yeah.
Like we're actually willing to like, we're past that point of purely just training for aesthetics. Yeah. But the BBL phase was definitely a phase.
So Brazilian
butt lift.
Right, okay. So in terms of, well, I guess social media plays a massive part in you wanting a small waist and a big bum. Kardashians, I guess.
Yeah, no,
Things
because
like that.
Yeah.
But what how have you found that social media tars this awful brush upon exercise now? Like, is it almost like phases and trends and think, I want what's the next trend? I want bigger hands. Do you know what I mean? So, but it might be, I don't know.
Not bigger hands, but no, I think the fitness industry has definitely gone through cycles of like trends, like fads. Like, I remember when I first got into the industry, the things that were like a thing were waist trainers. They were massive back in like 2012, 13, like a lot. And this is based on American culture because we're quite behind. So we always get influenced by what Americans are doing. So it was massive in the American community. Everyone's wearing waist trainers or sweat belts. Or there's that, it was called Sweet Sweat, which was like a cream that you'd put on your stomach, which was meant to help you burn fat on your stomach. And like those were big things. And then you had like the Herbalife era where everyone was selling Herbalife and part of that pyramid scheme. And then what else has like come and gone?
Well, do you know the one that gets me? Like, and I'm not being a pervert, but you know the tights, obviously, like the gym tights, leggings. That's the word. But like, there's almost like a thong on the outside.
Where it curves in.
Yeah. So like, it's like shapewear.
Yeah. So it's like all of that as well, because it's like I've got to look a certain way, I guess, and just
BBL.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's like a lot of it is just targeted at women, to be honest, and just to me, it's giving women more insecurities than they need.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've really gone through like phases, fads. What else has there been in the industry?
I feel like your thing gets rid of that, though. Sorry to interrupt, but I think that you get rid of that, like, I can't go to the gym. I know we spoke about that, but it's interesting looking at it from a social media aspect and all of the aesthetics that you've just pointed out. Like, if I'm a woman, or even if I'm a man, like, I'll look at men and I'll just think, like, how'd you get a body like that, man? And it's like, I think I ain't even bothered. I can't be bothered now, because it's like, that's years and years and years and years, and I've probably spent my years and years in a pub and whatever and living it up, right? But to me, it's a little bit like, with something that you do, it's let's go and have fun with it and maybe gradually get a body like that afterwards. So how do we get rid of that social side of it?
I think, one thing I think I pride myself on is being quite authentic. I think I'm very much the girl next door. I think I've always kind of like made my brand just relatable to the average person, which is even what the name Just Jean stands for. It's like, I'm nothing more, nothing less than just Gina. Like, that's just who I am, right? So I'm always like, if I can do it, and I'm no one special, I'm from Barking, babes. Do you know what I mean? I'm down the road. So if I can do it, what more you? Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So I've always tried to just keep things quite authentic and just show like the bad side and show the good side and just speak my truth. And like, social media is very much like a glimpse of like a highlight and stuff. But like, just be really authentic and real. And I think, I feel like that's what people appreciate about me. So I've always just tried to make things like just accessible for everyone. So it's like,
real. When
you come to my class, there's no hierarchy, there's no it girls. Because let me be honest, you see, women,